Coming up tonight on the news at 5, a member of President Trump's coronavirus task force joins Governor Steve Bullock to address the COVID-19 crisis in the state. Plus,
I think it's too soon. It's been rushed.
Even if a vaccine is made available soon, will Montanans take it?
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 5.
Good afternoon and welcome to the News at 5. I'm Jessica Nelson. Thanks for joining us. U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams says there are reasons to be optimistic about Montana's COVID-19 situation, but he said Montanans need to continue taking actions to slow the spread. Adams is one of the nation's top public health leaders and a member of President Trump's coronavirus task force. He's visiting Montana this week and joined Governor Steve Bullock for a news conference today. He said he's pleased to see the rate of positive COVID-19 tests going down in recent weeks, but concerned about continued strain on Montana hospitals. Adams acknowledged some people may have questions about health guidance since experts have changed their advice as they learned more about the virus. But he said data clearly shows masks work to limit the spread. And he says new vaccines will be safe and effective. He urged Montanans to keep doing what they have been doing until the vaccines become more available.
We truly have the capability to drive this virus into the ground once we start getting people vaccinated. But even though you know the cavalry's coming, that doesn't mean you just open up the gates and lay down and let the enemy attack you. That means you have to keep your guard up. You have to keep defending the fort until the cavalry arrives. And we need you to continue to do your part.
Adams noted communities in Indian country have been hit very hard by the virus. Tomorrow he will travel to the Fort Peck Reservation for the opening of a surge testing site. Well, state and locally reported data shows Montana's COVID-19 case total is just over 71,000. More than 16,000 of those are active. 819 Montanans have died as a result of complications with the virus. MTN is using a combination of sources to deliver the most accurate count on cases each day. Local county health departments may be alerted to cases before DPHHS. Great time now for a check of our forecast. Beautiful blue skies earlier today, and now I'm looking at whatever that is.
You're looking
not
at
beautiful and blue when I looked out my window.
No, it is. It's beautiful and blue in some parts of the state before the sun is going down, but you're looking at haze, Jessica, and everybody else watching at home. We just had some clear air here, but you could see low fog out here close to the ground. Fog is low typically, otherwise it's called clouds. But then you can see some of the blue sky just above. So parts of north central, northeast Montana where we had a little snow, we've got some low-level moisture and some fog. Look at Saco here, at least the visibility not so bad, but with temperatures below freezing, likely looking at some freezing fog. Where is the humidity very high? The High Line, Glasgow, Havre, look at Cup Bank, all at 92% relative humidity. Actually fairly humid across most of the state right now, and that again will translate into a little fog here tonight. We'll talk more about the incoming storm for Friday. That's coming up, but like a London fog out there, really thick. Please be careful, and again, it'll be freezing in some areas on the road surfaces, especially on the High Line. Snow, light, little, lots of it, or lots of opportunity for it, and almost Arctic air. Let you know who may get a little colder coming up in the forecast.
With the first round of COVID-19 vaccines set to arrive in Montana for healthcare workers as early as next week, that means we're one step closer to the vaccine being available to the general public. But what will people opt to receive the vaccine or not? MTN's Coulter Anstad hit the streets of Great Falls to find out.
To be or not to be vaccinated, that is the question. For people I spoke to, the answer isn't as simple as yes or no. Most want to get it, but they're not in a hurry to roll up their sleeves.
Didn't take them very long to produce this. We're like on the flu vaccines, they've been producing them for years. So I make sure I get one of those every year, and I've already had mine. But this vaccine is so new and out so quickly. There's no data on it.
I don't plan on getting it right away. to me, it got pushed through pretty quick and everything through. So I intend on just waiting a little bit, just to make sure everything's out, kosher with it.
The words about the vaccine are, like if it hasn't been done through the proper trials and procedures, it has been rushed through.
Deborah Gamble doesn't want the vaccine as of right now, and she's not sure what would need to happen to change her mind.
I think it's too soon. It's been rushed. I have a lot of health issues. My sister also has a lot of health issues. We don't know what it's going to do with the medications we're already taking.
Others say they may not have a choice. Their employer may require them to get the vaccine, but if they have the option to wait, they probably will. According to a Gallup poll conducted from November 16th to the 29th, 63% of Americans are willing to get a COVID vaccine, just shy of the high of 66% in July. In Great Falls, Colter Anstad, MTN News.
Montana is expected to receive around 10,000 doses of Pfizer's COVID vaccine as early as December 15th for healthcare workers. A distribution plan is still in the works. The shutdown of the Blackfeet Reservation has been extended until December 20th. Only essential travel is allowed, which means you can visit your doctor or go grocery shopping. But no gatherings with people outside of your own household are permitted on the reservation. The shutdown appears to be working as the 7-day moving average of new cases continues to fall. Tribal leaders say they want to keep it that way through the holiday season. The Blackfeet Reservation also expects to be included in the first round of coronavirus vaccines as part of the state's rollout next week. But tribal leaders are still waiting for more information. As the end of the year approaches, tribal nations across the nation are eyeing spending deadlines for CARES Act funding. In Great Falls, the Little Shell tribe is putting $25 million of CARES Act funds to use. The tribe has purchased a 10,000 square foot building in Great Falls to be remodeled into an urgent care clinic. Renovations of the tribal headquarters are also in the works. To allow for social distancing and upgrades to the event center, they will carve out space for members to quarantine if necessary. Tribal leaders also plan to develop transportation routes for members and work on long-term solutions for food insecurities.
Tribes throughout the nation in Alaska, we got our funding 2 months later than everybody else. And even the states are having trouble spending this money within this timeline. We'd rather see an extension instead of having to be involved in any kind of wasteful spending. We'd rather just have a really well thought out spending instead of hurry up and spend it by December 30th.
Gray says the bulk of that $25 million will go towards the new urgent care clinic. Tribal members currently have to travel to Box Elder or Browning for the nearest care through Indian Health Services. Montana's 3 presidential electors are preparing to gather in Helena next week to do their job, vote for the person who won the state. The 3 electors will be voting for President Trump, who won Montana by about 16 percentage points over Democrat Joe Biden. All 3 are Republicans chosen by their party. State Representative Brad Cheetah of Missoula, Becky Stockton of Helena, and 88-year-old Thelma Baker of Missoula. Baker, who had a stroke 6 months ago and is in a wheelchair, will still make the journey to Helena on Monday, where the electors will cast their vote in person at the Capitol. Baker has cast an electoral vote for the winning presidential candidate in Montana for the past 6 elections, going back to George W. Bush in 2000. In Montana, each political party chooses their own electors, so if Biden had won, the electors would be Democrats. Okay, when we come back, will the sunshine and blue skies stick around for the rest of the week? Curtis lets us know what we can expect. And later, the year 2020 may seem bah humbug, but Christmas tree sales and Christmas decor sales tell a different story.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenens.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Showed you the relative humidity before and a few spots up on the High Line off the Rocky Mountain front. Maybe not socked in a London fog here just yet, but you can see that there is an element of low-level moisture out there. Not so much around Geyser in the high woods. Great Falls, literally freezing out there right now. Feels like 25 with a little breeze and a cool day. A reminder that it's December. in Montana here. 33 degrees right now in the capital. Lots of 20s and 30s here around the state. And we had, come on, computer, we had a little in the way of some light snow yesterday, last night. You can see really a nice clearing trend here. But here's the next system. Get more into that in a second. Got to show the southwestern U.S. Nice to see some rain showers and some higher elevation snow. Phoenix, I think they went about 115 days without rain. Finally seeing some rain right now. That's a long stretch here, and a little snow moving through Ontario into Quebec. But for Montana, quiet nights, clouds slowly increasing. Watch out here, north central Montana, the High Line, and then Rocky Mountain front. We'll be looking at areas of dense fog. Tomorrow, a gray start. It's going to be a gray December day tomorrow. Not great, gray as in the color here, not very bright and blue. And there will be a little snow in the morning hours in the mountains and maybe up along the Rocky Mountain front. Very light flurries here. But as we go through the afternoon, look at some of that snow activity increasing, and that snow will push through the western and southwestern part of the state up into north central Montana a little later on. This will really hardly have an impact on travel. Just a coating up to an inch or so, probably just the movement of cars will be blowing some of that snow off of the road surface here. But some of that snow continuing through Friday night into Saturday morning through eastern Montana before that exits, and we'll look at some good sunshine developing here by Saturday afternoon. So again, very, very light snow coming through tomorrow evening hours into the overnight. And where you see this shade of gray, we're talking maybe up to an inch of snow. So just a little snow to kind of put you into that seasonal mood, let's just say. Here's a look at the forecast for tonight, down into the teens and 20s. And again, it's here out the High Line where we will likely have some dense fog and no wind out there. So the fog's not going anywhere. There could be some fog around Lewistown as well, but it should be dry around Helena as far as sky conditions. We're just looking at an increase in the cloud cover tomorrow. So again, light snow through the afternoon, almost more so like flurries, not even really a steady snow, but very, very light through the afternoon and evening hours here. There will be a little light snow up here towards tomorrow night into Saturday morning, north central Montana, maybe a few flurries, even northeast Montana. Careful tomorrow morning. Again, there will be areas of ice on the road because of the freezing fog. Central Montana, late in the afternoon into the evening, just a little light snow, some light snow up there over Kings Hill Pass, and around the Helena area, cooler day tomorrow, highs only in the 20s to about 30 degrees. Again, it starts out gray, and then we'll have some of this light snow through the afternoon and the evening hours. A little more up into the mountains here. We could see maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow. Here is the 7-day forecast for Helena. So a little light snow tomorrow. Temperatures right around the freezing point in the valley. And again, we're talking just a few flurries in the afternoon and the evening. Saturday morning, a couple of light flurries around, still lingering early before we move out and look at the sunshine moving in. Sunday, increasing clouds, couple of mixed rain and snow showers, mainly in the mountains on Sunday evening, and maybe a few snow showers on Monday and Tuesday as well. Remember, I said little, light, and lots of opportunity for some light snow, maybe a little more light snow late next week. And for Great Falls, very light flurries tomorrow evening into Saturday morning. Sunday, we could have a couple of mixed rain and snow showers late, a few snow showers on Monday into Tuesday.
Take a look at how the pandemic has influenced people's desires to shop for holly jolly decor.
What's the difference between them?
Frasers are a lot denser than that of the balsams.
Christmas tree sellers and farmers are surprised by sales this year.
Sales have been up quite a lot. We initially thought maybe perhaps people were buying early because they had looked forward to Christmas and so on. Now we think there's just more people buying, and they're buying early.
Christopher Gregory has owned Elsie's & Sons Christmas trees in Boston for 47 years and never expected this holiday season to be one of his busiest. In fact, just a few weeks ago,
we were afraid there'd be a shutdown. We get all the trees in the day after they'll shut down. Okay, no Christmas trees this year, and we'll be sitting here with thousands of Christmas trees and no buyers.
It's too small.
It's too small. You can't go much higher than that.
Sales for Christmas trees, wreaths, and almost every holiday decoration are selling so fast.
From Quebec this morning, 6 a.m.
We're running out of stuff, and it's only the 8th of December.
The Boston-based Christmas tree seller just had to get an extra supply of trees from a farm in Canada and still expects to run out early. At least one nearby Christmas tree farm already sold out and closed up shop for the year.
So this would be 60.
The surge in tree sales here is also being seen across the country. Overall, Christmas tree sales are up almost 30%. Not the typical consumer reaction in an economic recession.
Okay, so this one would be 70?
Usually people spend less on these things during a financial downturn.
25 to 125.
It's a comfort to people, I think. You know, the tradition and observing the tradition and having the decorating the house and so on, and planning meals and so on. It's this is what people get pleasure from now.
It may also be a distraction and an effort to stay optimistic.
Okay, let's cut it open. I'll show you what it looks like.
Despite the changes brought about by 2020.
Merry Christmas. Thank you guys.
I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
Well, thank you so much.
The coronavirus pandemic has changed everything from day-to-day life down to how we hold annual celebrations. For the Jewish community, Hanukkah begins tonight, and like everything else this year, it will be celebrated differently. Janet Tatz is a Helena Jewish community leader, and she says the pandemic has actually increased participation in Jewish events and celebrations statewide. We're having some issues with that video. Since the annual lighting of the menorah at the Capitol Rotunda is canceled this year, Janet encourages the Helena Jewish community to join in on the Hanukkah celebrations in Bozeman and Missoula. Congregation Beth Shalom in Bozeman will be holding online celebrations beginning this evening, as well as Har Shalom in Missoula. Now, for direct links to those events, just head to ktvh.com. Janet also says many Helena stores carry menorah candles, decorations, and supplies, so you are able to shop local. Okay, coming up next on the news at 5, winter sports are in play, but with a few changes this year. We head to the wrestling mats after the break.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
Welcome back with us. Winter sports practices continue across the state with modified formats due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Tom Wiley shows us how one wrestling power is adapting to their new reality.
The first day of practice is always something to look forward to, but when the defending AA champion Great Falls High wrestling team returned to the mats in the building behind me, the energy was noticeably different.
Monday was amazing. It was like a kid at a candy store. It was awesome being back in the room. Kids were excited, they were happy to be back. So we're just going to take it day by day because we know it can get shut down at any moment.
And practice will look a lot different this year. Normally the wrestling room would be full of athletes running drills, but due to COVID-19 protocols, mat time is limited.
It's completely changed. We have to follow the 25 people per room, per facility. So right now we're running 2 groups, a heavier weight group and a lighter weight group.
Though the season will consist of only duels, the Bison are once again eyeing a AA title with 2 returning 2-time champions in Elijah Davis and Ethan DeRoche and 9 state placers total.
Our goals are always going to be the same, just to compete to the best of our ability, get better every day, and hopefully the end result will be there, and if it happens, great. If not, we're just going to do everything we can to be ready for that day.
There's also a new addition to the coaching staff. Sean Roberts enters the room after 3 state championships at Columbia Falls and an All-American career at the University of Providence.
Yeah, for sure. I want to give back to the sport that gave a lot to me, so really want to start coaching. And I've known Luis since my recruiting process at UGF. Feel like it's a high-level coaching staff and a winning program, so I am glad to be a part of it.
The Bison team is grateful for the opportunity to compete, and they're prepared to roll with the punches during this unprecedented season.
It's different, it's crazy, and we just have to adapt.
Tom Wiley, MTN Sports.
It is also the first season of varsity girls wrestling in Montana. The Bison have 1 girl on the roster and hope to pick up a few more before the season starts. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
When we welcome our West Coast viewers, we'll examine the struggles of those with family members who have special needs, their routines and therapies upset by COVID. Also tonight, Clorox working overtime to meet demand, why its coronavirus cleaning products are so hard to find on Nightly News.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's all for us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Nightly News is next.